business and organizations and unions. That's where the gears are turning in America. That's where the decisions are getting made. Presidents don't really do a whole lot. So I think we should start directing. If you're really angry about things, direct it at the source. Direct it to the source. Let them hear you. Sorry, I hit it on all of them, kid. Andrew did it. Andrew, another veteran guy. I bet you didn't know that. He's an Australian veteran. Yeah. I love my fellow veterans, man. Doesn't matter what country they're from. Valerie, did you ever serve in the military? Bottom line, Obama is black. Yeah. I think that accounts for about, if I had to guess, and I will, I'd say, let's see, you got to have the people that hate the left naturally, who not caring who's black. So you got to count them in. Then you got to count of those which among them are more pissed that he's black than he is left. Then that factors into the racism. You have to count it, even though they hated the left anyway. Then you got to take the people who were not politically active at all till they saw a half black guy in the White House and came out of the woodwork. If I had to guess, I'd say a good 30% of America is racist. That'd be my guess. And we had Andrew and RD guess before. Andrew was saying about 10% of Australians being racist. RD was guessing about 20% of the Dutch being racist. I think the U.S. beats them all. I think we have a problem understanding other cultures, other races, and other religions. Why? Why is that such a problem, folks? Are we not there yet? Is it what I was talking about the other night? If we cannot raise human behavior up to this line we've drawn that's impossible to reach as far as what we expect of human behavior, maybe we should lower the line back down to where humans are. Let ourselves be more animal. Maybe that's the answer. Maybe I've been wrong all this time. Maybe we need to reverse our thinking. Instead of trying to make people so much better, why not lower the expectation of how good we expect them to be? Wouldn't that make for a happier world? Wouldn't that kill off huge metric tons of guilt in an instant? Nationalism is at least as bad as racism. Nationalism can be very dangerous. Barker says, because they don't have niggers in those other countries. I see. So that's what it is. Here's what I want you to do, though, Barco, and I know you can do this. You're an imaginative creature. Imagine being black. You're black. You got a good education. You studied. You know, your friends weren't studying. They were out gangbanging. You went to a small college. You got a 2-year degree, and you're going up for a job. You find out a white person comes in that actually dropped out of high school in the 11th grade but got a GED. They got hired, and you didn't. And how are you feeling about that? I mean, now you got to start asking questions. Why? Why did it happen? Well, where was affirmative action then? I think our tribe mentality is still in our DNA, Guy. I believe a lot of racism is natural. The question is really this. Even if you're going to be a wild man and say, look, I'm white, I can relate with white, that's it. Just try to take a walk in the shoes of another person, just a mile, and think about how their life might be more or less challenging than yours. And most people won't do that. They won't take that 10 minutes out of their life to just imagine being another race or another sex or another religion in another country. And once you start to understand it, you start realizing you're not that different than them. I'm not saying we're all fucking dittos off of one copy. I'm just saying that if we understood each other better, I mean, if you look at the history of humankind, what happens when you don't understand somebody? You kill them. You kill them. I mean, Columbus people come on shore, see people with feathers in their head, we're fucking killing them. The people looking back, they must be gods. We've never seen white men. You don't get your quota of gold for the day. Columbus chops your hands off. Why? Because you're not quite human. And if you're not quite human, we can treat you like animals. Slaves, not quite human. We can treat you like animals. Sometimes the more you understand, the less you forgive. Well, maybe you're right, Barco. I married one with a master's. It's all bullshit. What does that mean, Andrew? I know you were married to a black woman, but I don't know what you mean by it's all bullshit. God tried to walk in this dude's shoes yesterday. Man, did he get pissed. Started screaming and everything. Oh, I see. Who is Shillbilly Internet Radio? What's this show all about? It's about the truth, Shillbilly Internet Radio. Please give me something with less syllables that I can call you. This show's about the truth. Its rawest form. Right now we're talking about natural racism. I don't know how we got on it. We just do. That's what we're talking about. How long has this fucking show been going on? You know something? 3:03:05. This show's going to end up going 3 hours. This will be the longest show I've ever done. And it's the 199th episode. Holy shit. And we can attribute that to RD, Barco, Guy Shea, and Andrew, really. Because they're the ones that said, march forward, Kevin, continue on. Now, you know, there are some solutions we have to these problems with cities and different religions hating each other. And let me show you what a few of them sound like. Yeah, just let's get some going. Just get some, this is artillery in here, 50 cal. Oh shit, I didn't mean to launch that one. Didn't mean to launch that one. That 50 cal is an ass kicker, isn't it? That thing tears shit apart. So is this the answer, guys? War? They don't think like us. They don't act like us. Let's kill them. I mean, that seems to be have worked so far. How is it that we think that human beings have been around maybe 200,000 years, maybe less, and we just entered Homo sapien sapien 18,000 years ago? We're not very evolved, folks. We think we are because we're at the top of the food chain here, but compared to what? Compare it to someone who's reached our level and passed it 50,000 years ago, a million years ago, which could have very easily happened on another planet. Are we that advanced? We kill each other over invisible dudes. Yeah, we do. We kill each other over economic policy and over political ideology. We kill. You don't believe what I believe, therefore you must die. And you think we're evolved? I don't think we're very evolved at all. I'm turning off my Middle East ambiance because I've had enough of the violence. But how about violence, guys? When do we go to war? What happens in your country that makes you say it's time to fire up the fucking tanks and jets? Do you think we should have gone to Iraq? Do you think we should have had boots on the ground in Syria when it first broke out? I had a very unpopular view when Syria first broke out, and I found out that Assad's regime was gang raping 10-year-olds, among many other things, and then beheading them so they couldn't report it to the international watch organizations. I said we need to have boots on the ground in Syria. You know, we're war weary. We don't want boots on the ground. But is that a good enough reason not to put boots on the ground? We're war weary. We've been in Iraq and Afghanistan. We need a break. I don't know. I think you got to do it when you can, when you're the world's last remaining superpower. But as you know, and we need to watch out for, China and Russia are right on our heels. They're gonna come up. They're gonna pass us on education. They're gonna pass us on military strength. And God forbid they unite. If they unite, we're in for a hell of a fight. All we've really got to fall back on is nuclear. War is okay if you're cut off by a Mexican at Taco Bell. That's a good reason for war. But I think that happens to be what we would call a more localized form of warfare. That's the person snapping. Russia isn't on anyone's heels. You say so, Barco, but I think they are. You know, with the sanctions we've imposed and everything, we may have put a little splinter into their finger, but they'll peel that out. They've got a lot of people and a lot of power. They're coming up. They're coming up. Russia is a force. You guys hear about what happened today with the Russian jets, and they've been doing this over the past 6 months. They've been flying their bombers and refueling aircraft right up to the Alaska border. Well, 35 nautical miles, pretty close in my view. And we've had to scramble Canadian and American jets to chase them off. Why do you suppose they're doing that? Seems like a probe to me. I'm not one to get people scared over something, but it looks like they're probing our defense to check our reaction time. And maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what's coming. China's going to invade Russia to gain access to Lake Baikal. Joe, is speak a Canadian word? Fresh water will be the oil of the 21st century. I think you're right, Barco. A lot of people don't even realize that we're going to have water shortages. A lot of people don't even realize that desalination is not a cheap technology, and it's not easy to make cheap. I mean, You think, well, the world's covered with 2/3 water. We shouldn't have water issues. Yeah, but you got to get the salt out of it if you want fresh water. And our fresh water, from problems like Hershey going into these towns and taking their water table down 60 feet because they're stealing all the fresh water to sell as bottled water, and the town's going, where's our water? This shit's getting nasty. Water wars may be the next major wars. California has a water shortage. Places like Las Vegas are having water brought in. They're having it brought in. Well, the water has to come from somewhere. So we don't have an endless supply of water on this planet. And as I said, desalinization is not a cheap technology. China has perpetual water issues, says Barco. They can't grow anymore without finding external freshwater sources. And look at the population growth. I mean, there was just an article out today talking about major population growth. If you were to look at a population chart, world population, starting back at, say, the year 1000 AD and follow it up, it's got this super slow climb, super duper slow climb till it gets to about 1840. And then from 1840 to 1960, you see this kind of 30, 40 degree angle starting. Now the fucker is vertical. We're out of control with population. And I know some people say, if George Carlin were alive today, he'd say, don't worry about it. The planet will take care of herself. If the population's too big, she'll trim it back. And she will. She will. But the question is, which people are more entitled to survive than other people? Because we're going to be rationing. So wouldn't it make sense that the most powerful country goes after the less powerful ones, especially if they have resources? I think we're in trouble regarding water, and I think we're going to be in huge trouble regarding climate refugees. Being that we're basically a virus, humans, I agree, Guy, perhaps the act of war and death by lack of water and starvation is just another way for the Earth to balance things out to protect itself. I think that's entirely possible. The solution, the only one I can think of, if we want to keep growing like this, get people off this planet. Seriously, set them up on Mars, the moon, artificial created space stations. There are some asteroids out there that are big enough to settle on. We can get people eventually onto some of the moons of Jupiter. That's ultimately what we have to do. If we're going to be locust, which we are, use up all our resources and move to the next place and use all those up. Well, if we want population to continue unchecked, we got to start getting people off this planet. If the environment cannot contain you, then either you die off or you increase the environment. We need to increase the environment. Make it bigger. Get people out of here. Plus, I don't know about you, and maybe I shouldn't give a shit if humanity survives, but I see it as a good idea to not have all our eggs in one basket. I mean, when you consider that one big fucking rock could take all of us out, that's scary. That's scary. Let's get some people off the planet in a self-sustained atmosphere somewhere else. Colony on Mars, underground tunnels, self-sustaining on the moon. These are things we can do. It just takes some smart people and a lot of thinking, but I think we're running out of time. I think the population issue and the climate issue is going to come to a head about the same time as we start having real water shortages, and shit's going to get ugly. And I'm the last one that wants to scare people, but it's coming. Tomorrow when the war began. I want to see that movie. You know what I did, Barco, since you fucked with me so bad last week about it, is I watched Catch-22. I didn't read the book, but I watched the first half of Catch-22. Interesting. It's a thinker's movie, that's for sure. Andrew says, but my team won today. Everything is okay, right? Yeah, there you go. People have an amazing ability to ignore huge threats as long as what's going on inside their microcosmic world looks okay. That's really what it's all about. I'm sure the book is better. I need to get it. Go Hawks, very OC, sorry. Hawks, which team is... I'm guessing that's an Australian team you're talking about there. I'm not sure. Barco Bingo, I like the agent. Next fave character to Armin from Schindler's List. You talking about the agent from Red Dawn style movie? I'll bet you guys are talking about the agent from The Matrix. I just didn't see the comment about it. But he was right. We're a fucking virus. It's what we do. I mean, if you looked at a fast-forward video of human population on Earth and what we've done, it would just look like dung beetles tearing apart a pile of shit. That's what we do. We tear it apart and there's going to be nothing left.